Gilbert Arenas, the Black Mongoose. Throughout his NBA career, he became a superstar, being a Wizards legend while making $160 million. Yet, just 2 years after his last NBA game,
down to 4, takes a glance with 3 to 2 for the winner.
He went broke. With NBA players making millions of dollars, you'd think they would have made it. Financial security for themselves and their descendants forever. Yet, that's not the case. The majority of NBA players end up falling on hard times. So, that brings up the question, why do the majority of NBA players go broke after playing?
Sing shirtless in Serbia are broke.
For NBA players, not much better. 60% of them are as well after 5 years retired.
We're talking about a lot of cash here.
You heard the average player go broke after 5 years.
All the time. You know, you got a 2 to 4% agent fee. You got the NBA escrow. So that check gets eaten up.
One of the many athletes who suffered the effects of poor financial security after retirement, Gilbert Arenas was once a young boy with the dream of playing basketball. But the sport didn't come easy. He suffered from financial difficulties as a child and ended up homeless before he was 8 years old.
And we landed at Burbank Park. Mm-hmm. Not an apartment, the park.
The actual park.
The actual park. So we lived at the park for like a few months because he didn't have enough money to get an apartment.
Wait, you were homeless?
Yeah. We was homeless.
After 3 years of living with his grandmother in Florida, he was taken back in by his father in Los Angeles, and his high school basketball career began. He played for his high school team, the Ulysses S. Grant Bulldogs, and went on to play for the Arizona Wildcats. In 2001, Arenas, a then sophomore in college, led the Wildcats to the NCAA championship game and announced his entrance into the 2001 NBA draft.
The coach, Howard Levine, said, "You're going to be the first NBA player from here." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever."
In the NBA, Arenas played for the Golden State Warriors, the Washington Wizards, the Orlando Magic, and the Memphis Grizzlies.
So you signed a 6-year, $60 million contract with the Wizards. How did it feel at that point to be making $10 million a year?
Oh my, that was
To go from homeless, essentially living in the stadium, to making $10 million a year for the next 6 years.
It was unreal because it never happened before. Not that fast. You know, there was...
Throughout the course of his career, Arenas made $160 million. He was awarded Most Improved Player in 2003 and signed a sponsorship deal with Adidas for $40 million.
Originally, they're only offering you, what, $1 million? $2 million for your shoe deal. And you turned it to $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
However, in 2012, after several knee injuries and legal issues, Arenas was obligated to retire. Just a few years after leaving the NBA, Arenas lost the vast majority of his finances to gambling and excessive spending.
So I bought an Escalade, had 5 TVs in it, 4 12s, you know, got the big chain like everybody else. You know, so I spent all of that money.
But it wasn't just him. Financial catastrophes come for many NBA players post-retirement. Derek Coleman, bankrupt. Dennis Rodman, scammed out of millions. Antoine Walker, bankrupt. These people were some of the most prolific players during their careers. Yet, even they were not safe from what most players face after they hang up their jerseys. 60% of athletes in the NBA go broke within just 5 years of retiring. This issue isn't just limited to the NBA either. In the NFL, it is estimated that nearly 80% of all retired players are either bankrupt or under severe financial stress in a similar time frame. The reasons many of these athletes suffer financially after their career ends are also very similar. Poor financial literacy leading to misunderstood contracts and financial fraud.
There's no one really, Doc, having those deep conversations with them, maybe at a surface level. At the rookie symposium, they may talk a little bit about it. But oftentimes, these young men are coming from financial situations where it was a struggle. And then all of a sudden, I have all of this, and I don't know what to do with it, and everyone wants a piece of it.
On average, players lose 50% of their paychecks to income taxes, contracts, and other fees. Additionally, nearly 35% of professional athletes are victims of fraud during their careers, and another 40% make poor investment decisions with the money they take home. To pinpoint why these alarming patterns are occurring, it's important to take a look at the beginning of an athlete's journey. With the odds of making the NBA being incredibly low for college athletes at 110 to 1, trying to make the league is a terrible bet. Yet, even if a player makes it, they're still going to have a rough time building generational wealth due to the burdens of their past and improper guidance in their future. According to a study by Drexel University, 86% of collegiate athletes live below the federal poverty line.
Consider this: a highlight dunk, 0. A clutch 3, zip. A behind-the-back pass, nada. A game-winning shot, zilch. What an NCAA player makes for giving their everything every day? Nothing. While 86% of them live below the poverty line, and less than 2 of every 100 of them will have a sponsorship or paying pro career to lift them out of it.
With such a large portion of future professional athletes living in poverty, they carry with them the burdens of financial insecurity. The International Federation of Accountants explains the impact, as financial literacy often disproportionately affects lower income and marginalized populations. This in turn perpetuates poverty and exacerbates income inequality. Even with the court cases NCAA v. Alston and O'Bannon v. NCAA that enabled name, image, and likeness payments for college athletes, young teens are getting large sums of money without the literacy or education to know what to do with it so they can get themselves and their families out of the cycle of poverty.
I learned about a lot of financial concepts either through bad experiences or as a result of being an NFL player. And I just don't think that you should have to make it to the NFL in order to learn about your 401k or what an IRA is or how to invest your money or how to do due diligence.
This effect translates to professional leagues, as after being drafted, players still don't have the knowledge or skill sets to maximize their wealth. Bad financial habits turn cyclical, as veterans in the NBA, role models, promote poor fiscal habits, creating a pattern of gaining immense wealth, spending it immediately, and retiring on the brink of bankruptcy.
At the end of the day, when you're on a team full of young, eccentric guys who show their money off really well, you kind of are motivated to do the same in some senses. So I stepped out of character. I got the JT, you know, I was flexing. Young rook out here.
Sports exploitation is not just a modern concern. It's been addressed in literature decades old. In Ralph Ellison's 1974 novel, Invisible Man, the narrator experiences a similar issue when forced to fight for coins on an electric rug.
I lunged for a yellow coin lying on the blue design of the carpet, touching it and sending a surprised shriek to join those rising around me. The rug was electrified.
Although the event was advertised as an opportunity for reward, participants were subject to electric shocks instead. With the assumption that the coins were gold and participants could keep their earnings, the narrator and other black boys suffered the brutality of electric wires as they tried to grab the faux coins. But after the brawl, the narrator discovers that the gold pieces he had scrambled for were brass pocket tokens advertising a certain make of automobile. The audience used the players for entertainment, concerning themselves with their own amusement as they were insouciant about the well-being of the participants. Like modern athletes, Ellison's narrator was taken advantage of after being unable to recognize exploitative societal schemes. Invisible Man shows that many marginalized people's dreams of lifestyles they're sure will come once they make it turn into tragedy due to the aloofness to the exploitation that awaits them. But why are these schemes so successful? The answer: a cycle of financial illiteracy causing players to overspend and undersave. Let's look at LeBron James, one of the most renowned players of the 21st century. In the 2017 season, LeBron's gross pay was over $33 million, while his net pay was less than half of that. If players are unaware of the true net income they receive, they can be spending twice as much as they should be, an easy path to financial ruin. Additionally, many players lack wealth management skills, as their lavish lifestyles wind up hurting them post-retirement. Most commonly, players follow their role models, athletes that preceded them and practice such excessive spending. They fall into the trap of living large, rather than planning for the future. Because of this cycle of poor wealth management, athletes all over the nation after their careers wind up broke. But exploitation and financial literacy don't have to plague professional athletes. While nearly 80% of retired NFL players and 60% of retired NBA players face financial difficulties, debt, or bankruptcies, only 6% of former MLB players face financial issues. And there's a reason for this: pensions. MLB players only need a minimum of 43 days of service on the roster to start earning benefits, while NBA players have to play for 3 years. According to the National Basketball Retired Players Association, the age 50 benefit pays out approximately $800 monthly per year of service. However, the average NBA player only plays for 5 years, meaning the average player who plays for 5 years only ends up collecting $48,000 per year. In comparison, 5 years of service in the MLB earns you $137,500 per year. The MLB pension plan dates back to 1947 and is currently the longest-running pension plan in all of professional sports. The plan has roughly 10,000 participants that can be broken down into 3 groups: active players, retired players, and players receiving benefits. One of the largest challenges for Major League Baseball players is navigating significant short-term career earnings with decades of unemployment as a former player. The MLB pension, which can be taken as early as 45, bridges this gap for players. In 2024, the current pension benefits at age 62 are as follows: 43 days of MLB service time, $6,875 per year. 1 year of MLB service, $27,500 per year. 5 years of MLB service, $137,500 per year. 10 years of MLB service, $275,000 per year. Professional athletes give up their time, sweat, and tears to sports teams. So it only makes sense that when their body, their tool for income, breaks down and they have to retire, they are then supported by the league they sacrificed so much for. However, in conjunction with expanding pensions, it's also important that sports leagues concurrently ensure their players are capable of intelligently managing their paychecks. Financial literacy needs to be placed at the forefront of athlete education.
The athlete gets this bad rap, like we're this uneducated, blowing money type situation. It's just, we felt offended, quite honestly, about it, because at the end of the day, if anybody, I dropped $10 million in your lap at 18, you're probably going to make bad decisions. We do a terrible job as a country educating on finances. So to us, it wasn't an athlete problem, it's an education problem.
During the last few years, some advancements have been made in this field. Recently, the NFL implemented an outreach program to refine the financial literacy of rookies. It aims to help them navigate contracts and improve budgeting by limiting excessive spending habits that are often adopted by professional athletes. In 2023, the NBA created a similar program. In theory, these initiatives should mitigate the financial illiteracy crisis in sports. However, in both cases, these are only 4-day programs that take place during a player's first season, falling short of extensive coverage. And, since the programs are so short, there are concerns around how much of the information players retain over the course of their professional career. So, because better financial literacy is the greatest weapon where earnings and financial security are concerned, these courses should be prolonged and dispersed throughout athletes' careers. Requiring similar classes for collegiate sports can also bridge the gap and remind athletes of common financial risks to be wary of, steering them towards careful budgeting and investment decisions. In the future, all professional leagues should consider establishing mandatory financial literacy courses that address the illiteracy crisis in order to help their athletes put their best foot forward onto the court, field, or arena. After all, financial literacy isn't just 4 days. It's for life.